In the dusty town of Red Rock, 1883, a headstrong schoolteacher named Clara Belle lived independently, proud and fiercely. Silas Granger, the rugged rancher, with eyes like summer storms, quietly watched her from across the sunlit mercantile. Every Friday, he'd spend months mustering courage, polishing his silver tongue, and dreaming of asking for her beautiful, graceful, stubborn hand. One golden afternoon, he approached her by the well, hat in hand, his heart thundering louder than a cattle stampede. She looked at his calloused hands and weather-lined face, then replied with a voice sharp as desert thorns, "No, Mr. Granger." But on that stormy night, her rejection turned into a desperate prayer for the man she had just turned away. Clara had built walls around her heart after her first husband died in a mining accident 5 years earlier. Leaving scars, she vowed never to depend on any man again, pouring her soul into teaching the dusty town's rowdy, barefoot children. Silas wasn't a smooth-talking charmer. He was a quiet man who left fresh wildflowers on her schoolhouse steps every Monday. He repaired the leaking roof during her lessons without a word, tipping his hat before disappearing into the golden prairie. His rejection stung like a branding iron, but he respected her choice and retreated to his sprawling cattle ranch in solitude. 2 weeks later, a black thunderhead swallowed the mountains, unleashing a deluge that turned the bone-dry canyon into a mist. Clara had taken a wagon to collect primers from the next town, crossing the sandy arroyo that was now a death trap. The wall of water hit with the roar of 1,000 bison, splintering her wagon wheel and trapping her in swirling chaos. Her frantic cries for help were swallowed by the thunder, and the icy flood climbed to her waist with terrifying speed. Silas, nursing his wounded pride miles away, saw the flash flood warnings and immediately thought of her well-known traveling route. Without hesitation, he saddled his stallion and rode into the blinding rain, driven by a love that rejection couldn't extinguish. He pushed his horse through mudslides and lightning, muttering her name like a prayer with every desperate, pounding hoofbeat forward. He found her wagon half submerged, Clara pale and shivering on the seat, the water rising rapidly with deadly, cold intent. He plunged into the torrent, strong rope tied around his waist, fiercely fighting the current that clawed at his leather boots. Clara's eyes widened, recognizing the man she'd refused, now desperately risking everything to reach her through the raging, muddy water. A floating log struck his shoulder, but he never faltered. His gaze locked onto her frightened face with fierce determination. He scooped her into his arms as the wagon shattered, carrying her to the bank with strength born of sheer will. Coughing and trembling, she collapsed against his chest, her pride swept away by the flood just like the splintered wagon. He wrapped a blanket from his saddlebag around her, whispering hoarsely, "I couldn't let the world lose your light, Clara." By the crackling cave campfire, she finally saw past his rough exterior, into the heart of a truly gentle man. He brewed hot coffee in a tin cup and gave her the last piece of dried jerky, never once mentioning her rejection. She watched him wince as he bandaged his own bruised ribs, humbled by the quiet dignity he carried so effortlessly. His horse, a loyal paint named Storm Chaser, nuzzled his shoulder as if sensing the silent bond forming in the cave. As the storm raged outside, Clara realized she had judged a book by its weathered cover and missed its precious story. She had equated roughness with cruelty, but Silas's hands that roped cattle were the gentlest she had ever felt. Her late husband had been a smooth talker who gambled away their savings, teaching her to fear words, not appreciate silence. Silas, who stammered when nervous, showed love through actions fixing fences, leading honey jars, and now saving her precious life. She took his calloused hand, the same one she'd scorned, and pressed it to her tear-streaked cheek with trembling gratitude. "I'm sorry," she whispered, the two words carrying the weight of 1,000 misunderstandings in the dawn of something new. He simply shook his head, his thumb brushing away her tears, and said, "A man who loves waits without condition." By dawn, the storm had passed, and sunlight painted the cleansed canyon in hues of gold, pink, and new hope. He carried her on his horse through the washed-out trail, her arms wrapped around his waist, feeling safe for the first time. The town had feared both were lost, and when they appeared mud-splattered but alive, the square erupted in grateful cheers. The old doctor tended Clara's chill, while Silas stood quietly outside the clinic, refusing to leave until she was well. The school children brought her wildflowers, and little Tommy whispered, Mr. Granger asked us to pray for you every sunrise. From that day, Clara Belle learned that a man's worth is not in his polished words, but in his sacrifices. She began to notice the small things, how he greeted his ranch hands by name, how he saved injured calves personally. She visited his land, seeing the orchards he planted for a future he never expected to share, and her heart swelled. One evening under a canopy of stars, she walked to his cabin with a peach cobbler and a heart full of courage. She knocked on his door, and when he opened it, his eyes widened like a boy on Christmas morning, speechless. "I'm not here to thank you again," she said softly. "I'm here to stay, if you'll still have my stubborn soul." The big, rugged rancher wept. Silas Granger, who'd faced stampedes and droughts, cried at the simple gift of returned affection. He felt a one knee right there on the porch, a promise ring made of braided horsehair already waiting in his pocket. "I've carried this for a year," he confessed, "hoping one day you might see the man beneath the weathered skein." She pulled him up and kissed him, a kiss that tasted of peach cobbler, salt tears, and the sweetest redemption story. They married in the little church that autumn, the same one where Clara had once taught Sunday school to eager children. The entire town came, and even the cantankerous old judge admitted he'd never seen a couple more destined for forever. Clara's wedding dress was simple white cotton, and Silas wore a bolo tie with a silver clasp shaped like a book. After the vows, they rode to his ranch on Storm Chaser, the same horse that had carried them from the deadly flood. She planted roses by the porch, and he built her a proper schoolhouse on his land for the ranch children to attend. Their love was not a wildfire, but a steady hearth that warmed generations, proving that true affection often grows slowly. They raised 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter, each taught that strength means lifting others, not standing above them. Silas never once reminded Clara of her rejection. Instead, he often joked she'd saved him from a lonely, bitter life. And when another flood threatened the valley years later, together they organized a rescue brigade, saving 17 stranded families safely. The legend of Clara and Silas became a bedtime story, a testament that second chances are the most beautiful gifts. Their tale teaches us that we often reject what we desperately need, because we mistake a plain wrapper for a plain soul. The West was built not just on grit and gold, but on men and women who learned to see hearts, not surfaces. If these stories stirred something deep within you, then you understand the power of redemption that lives inside every sunset. We live in a world that often celebrates loud voices, but the quiet heroes like Silas keep humanity's flame burning bright. At Stories Hub Official, we bring you tales from the frontier that remind you what it means to be truly human. Our team scours history and imagination to craft narratives that inspire, uplift, and connect us across oceans and centuries. If you believe that love can bloom in a desert and that forgiveness is the greatest frontier, then this channel is home. We pour countless hours into researching, writing, and editing, so that stories like Clara and Silas's reach your heart. Every like, every subscription, and every comment tells us that these timeless Western lessons still matter in your modern life. So please, if a rugged rancher's quiet sacrifice moved you today, tap that like button and ring the bell for more. Subscribe to Stories Hub Official and join our global family of dreamers, romantics, and believers in second chances forever. Sharing the comments a time when you misjudged someone, only to discover a treasure hidden beneath a rough, dusty exterior. Tell us your own story of unexpected grace, because every shared experience weaves another thread into our collective human tapestry. Your voice matters here. We read every comment and often feature our favorites in future videos, so speak from the heart. Remember, the greatest gift you can give someone is the chance to show who they really are beyond first impressions. If Silas and Clara remind you of your own grandparents or a quiet neighbor, then their spirit is already alive in you. Don't let this message fade with the closing scene. Carry it into your week as a lantern of kindness and understanding. And when you see someone with calloused hands and a shy smile, remember that angels often wear dusty boots and worn jeans. We'll keep bringing you stories of courage, love, and the untamed West, because the frontier never truly ended in our souls. So hit subscribe, leave your thoughts below, and let us know if you want more tales of redemption from the wild country. Our team works tirelessly to be your weekly campfire, where the stars are stories and the warmth is genuine human connection. Thank you for riding with us through this narrative of flood and feeling. Your presence makes our creative journey worthwhile. Always, If this video earned a soft smile or a single tear, then our mission is accomplished and our lanterns will stay lit. Now, look beyond the screen and find your own quiet. Silas, a person whose love is shown in deeds, not just declarations. And if you are a Silas, patiently waiting for someone to see your heart, keep being kind. Your flood rescue is coming. Until next time, may your trails be safe, your campfires bright, and your heart open to the unexpected angels around you. Return with another Western tale that bridges yesterday's values with today's longing for authentic courage. Subscribe, like, and share, because every cowboy and cowgirl deserves a story that reminds them that love conquers even floods. See you soon on the dusty trail of legends, where we'll uncover more hidden hearts and unspoken heroism beneath white skies.